fellow glue sniffers and sprue snippers, and welcome back to Blitzkrieg Model Works. I'm Bob, you know me as Darkle on the forums. How's it going, everybody? So as you can see, I finally got my Voyager photo etch set for the Panther F, which would also work for all intents and purposes for the Panther 2. And I wanted to do a quick comparison between the Aber set and the Voyager set. There are some things I like better in the Aber set, some things I like better here. And there's something I want to go over about with this, the way it seems to be advertised. This particular kit, I don't know if there are others are like this, but there's something about this that really bothered me, the way it's presented versus the way you get it. All Voyager etch sets seem to come in a hanging type box like this. They just use a different picture on the front, different barcode, and a different back picture. Aber still come in these Ziploc baggies, normally with like a header card like this one is. I have had this one open, and the instructions are quite good. The Aber set actually gives you two separate sets in here. You get the front fenders and side supports, like so, in photo etch. And then the F and the 2 give you all kinds of crazy, ludicrous things. They give you things like the etched grill sets and the track retainers for the spare tracks on the side, which are fine. That comes in every kit. And then this is specific to the Panther F and the Panther 2. So they'll have things like tell you how to detail the inside of the hatches, actually building the chain link barrel lock. That's just nuts. Working latches, and yes, I've done this before, you can actually make them functional. Lots of items for, you know, locks, bits and pieces all over. Although oddly, they don't give you, this is an old one, so they wouldn't have given you this, but the Voyager set gives you the photo etched cowl for over top of the gun barrel. They do give you some bits. Actually, this is what I was talking about in one of the other videos. They do actually give you vision blocks. And these, I put these in a Tamiya Panzer 3L. They are insane. Once you get them in, they just look phenomenal, but they're a bit of a chore to put together. Some muffler bracket spots. This is an older one. You can actually build a jack. We used to joke about how they should just make the jack functional. Tool stowage, and more tool stowage. So they're a very nice set. I don't honestly recall what this cost. I got this years ago when I first got the Panther 2 kits. But now when you look at, so those are your chains and the etched grill sets. And Aber were the first ones to do this for photo etch. So those look quite nice. This is your base etch kit, so you have things like that goes over top of one of the screens. So there's your bits for the jack, your vision blocks. These are grills that go over top of the rear hull. Right in here is where these would end up going. You even get a new shovel head. You do have to bend and curve it into place. But overall, this is pretty straightforward standard fare. And then the fenders. Now the odd thing is with the fenders that I found is they actually do okay, sorry for the hiccup there. So that's the Aber set. Fairly straightforward, fairly complex, but not complicated. I found dealing with Aber kits, photo etch, the hardest thing to do is the clamps, which are multiple pieces. It's right under where my finger is. So there's like multiple parts into making this, so it makes it quite challenging. You got to take your time doing it. Now we'll compare the Voyager set. So it comes in a nice sturdy box. Now, unlike the separate links for the toe clamp, they have these here. Very nice, very concise. Better than Aber's, but pretty much the same thing. They have a separate set. Well, actually, this is just another page. It's a separate set for the tool bins on the back, which oddly Aber does not give you. But Voyager does. I believe you can get them from Aber as a separate set, though. Now you get a bit more with the Voyager set. It doesn't necessarily make it better, it's just different. Packaging's a little bit different. You have this set. So here is the chain link for your toe clamp. That's a little nuts. You also get some plastic tube, some nice copper wire, and somewhere in here there is a steel, there's like a steel rod. Kind of like the electrical copper wire I was showing before, but in steel. Some of their other components, so you get a lot of the same stuff. Shovel heads. This one even has a horseshoe. Has some nice parts for doing the inside of the turret, or sorry, the driver and radio operator bow machine gunner's hatches. And we have, oh, the wires right in there. Very thin piece of wire. Don't stab yourself with it. It is rather stiff. Now this sheet with the grills on it, I mean, these are really nice too. This is much thinner than the other sheets, much thinner. So be very cautious handling this. This actually has a stacked crew compartment heater. Where the heck is the, yeah, right there. So that's quite involved, because the whole crew compartment heater, that's for the Panthers with the raised vent hood there. You could actually close off parts of it just like you do people blocking off the front end of their car in winter so the engine stays warmer. So same idea with this, except it keeps the heater warmer for the crew inside. So as I said, that's very thin. It's scary in comparison. It feels about half as thick. And then your last couple of sheets. There. You want to go in, you get some, again, the front fenders. There's your rear stowage boxes. The front fenders. Same but different. So you want to do it this way. Similar but different. The one thing that I did, excuse me, that was a little perturbed about. Aber do not make this anti-aircraft armor set. So far I've seen ET models make them and Voyager. Now pretty much everybody I've looked at, including eBay and Amazon and the store here, some places don't come right out and say it, but everybody seems to imply that the Schertzen and the anti-aircraft armor is included in the kit. But as you can see, it is not included in the kit. It's actually separate. The company that I got this from, the Barrel Store, and this is not to slight them at all, when you go onto their website, it just has a picture of this. Actually, it doesn't even have a picture of this. It just has the part number, the description, and then there's a link to a picture. And the picture shows that, just the vehicle, and on that it has this part number, this part number, and this part number. So one would presume that you're getting all three. Some eBay sellers actually list this part number and they say it includes everything, but when you actually message them and talk to them, you find out, oops, no, it actually doesn't, but nobody bothers to change the description. Buyer beware. I don't know, I haven't really looked a lot into Voyager stuff to see if they do other kits where there is a basic and then there's accessory stuff for it. So as this one sits, I am not going to use the Voyager set on the Panther 2. I am going to use the Aber set on the Panther 2. I'm going to save the Voyager set for a Panther F that I will do at a later date, since that's what it's actually made for, and I've got a couple of those already. Either way, other than my disappointment in not getting what I thought I was getting, despite my research indicating I should have, but bad move on some of the sellers not making that very clear. As far as the sets go, really at 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The Voyager seems to be maybe a little bit more, but you do get the bins in the back. Realistically, the only advantage I can really see with having the photo etch bins is if you want to have one or both open, or have them badly damaged, in which case you don't use the plastic ones in the kit. But otherwise, I mean, from my perspective, it's pretty much 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The Aber is a bit of an old school thing back when it was, the photo etch was a kit in and of itself. Whereas the Voyager, they include quite a few other goodies that you would have to supply for yourself with the Aber. So that's it. Like I said, the Panther 2 will be getting this stuff. The Sturm Panther 2 that I'm doing won't get much, if any, photo etch at all. It's going to be pretty basic. While I will use some grills, but that's about it. So that's it for the little review. I'm going to have another review, another update video up pretty quick here with the Sturm Panther. I've done side armor for the hull. I'm just waiting for some paint to dry before I put it on. I wanted to paint the insides before I put everything together, so they so you don't see all the gray paint or gray plastic in between, because it's going to be pretty hard to get in there because there's about a 1 millimeter gap between the regular hull and the other hull. So that'll be up shortly. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you haven't already for more updates. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.